So for anyone that doesn't know, I absolutely love Messiah, so much so that this is on my wall. Messiah as a deck focuses on using effects to lock rear guards, turning them face down and being unable to be used, and unlocking at the end of their owner's turn. You then use your own effects during the battle phase to unlock your own rear guards and allow them to attack again. You can also do this to your opponent's rear guards to prevent them from being used. This caused Link Joker to be the most hated clan in all of Vanguard for a couple years until its remake in D, where the Messiah crest made it so that your opponent's rear guards are unlocked at the end of your turn, but they are bound, so decent compromise. And also lore-wise, locking is like separating someone from the physical universe, and probably also feels like the wildest cock and ball torture known to man. Anyways, this is a stride deck, meaning you have the option to spend $300 to say that you like a deck. It also means that Reddit and Twitter, casual players, and VTubers all fucking hate your guts. Okay, enough of the jokes. It means you have G units, or strides. Once you and your opponent are at grade 3, or you start the turn at grade 3, meaning your opponent can't just stay on grade 2 to deny you your actual plays. After your ride phase, you go into stride phase, where you can discard cards from your hand that equal up to grade 3, and stride a G unit from your G deck. They're units with triple drive, 15,000 power, plus whatever the power of your heart, which is your original Vanguard, and they just have good effects. And now you basically have the gist of what this deck does. I'll be explaining the cards as they come up in the actual fight, and here's my deck list. The biggest issue I have with the deck is there's not exactly options for builds. It's pretty much good out of the box, except just throw in Mekanis. I luckily have 4. But more actual options with strides or even a different grade 3 to use would be pretty cool. So either one of the other Messiah grade 3s or something new from standard. Either would be cool. Boy.
I always like my plant boy, so.
I love my incomprehensible Messiah god girlfriend there. Love it. Draw for crest and pass turn.
Alright, I'll draw for turn.
This is a fight that I've really wanted to record because, for one, I still haven't recorded a match with Messiah after spending way too much on the deck, and 2, Jazz's Rorowa deck is actually able to pull out some really good punches. So with that in mind, Rorowa being able to attack really big and Messiah being able to pull off really good comebacks makes this a pretty good match. Favorites at the top, yeah. That's why it's called blatantly biased. Yeah. I'm going to use Mekani's skill to soul charge, and then I'll just be attacking for the rest of the turn. And that definitely is one thing that I've been noticing about Messiah is you can just call out a bunch of your grade 1s early game and just keep attacking with them because you don't care what happens to them. The only things that you'd really keep is Kaiser Klein or Arrestor, and those are for when you can strike. Everything before then is just extra attackers to throw on extra pressure before you throw on even more pressure. Because 2 of your grade 1s you only need for certain matchups. Mekani, you soul charge on call, so he's done half of his job already, and then for sacrifice you usually run 4 copies, so you don't care if one gets retired. That's just an extra damage that you don't have to take. On Jazz's side, he switched his Vanguard booster for 2 tokens, and then calling Radiolina, counterblasting 1 to call a Momoke token, and then eating the 2 tokens to give Momoke the 10k. This is going to give Jazz a 10k attack from his Vanguard, a 15k attack from Momoke, and then a 25k attack with Radiolina using her skill to take the power of Momoke. All things considered, this combo is a bit pricey, but he knows that I can't bind anything next turn, so he might as well just fill up his field a little bit, and because he doesn't even use any front triggers, it's alright to just retire those 2 plant tokens from early. So really, all things considered, this is already some big attacks, and I can't really guard too much. I get a heal, so very luckily on that I can take another damage later, but that's just about it. I'm going into turn 3 when I'm going first, and I don't really have any plays. So again, I wanted to show off Messiah pulling off a big comeback later on, and Rorowa hitting with some big numbers early game. So to do that, we had already decided that I would be going first this game. Onto Jazz's turn, he's going to be pulling out grade 3 Rorowa, which is quite the good card for just setting up fields. And then for more setup, he's playing Resolute Pair of Eyes, which will search him another copy of Radiolina. And then, as a set order, all the tokens in his back row get 5,000 power, which, it's Rorowa. It's always going to be tokens in the back row. I know I said that, but just ignore the signpost fairy. It's literally just there to be eaten by Momoke, so just wait a sec.
Because we're going to call 2 more tokens here.
Doesn't he Soul Blast call 3? Or just
up to 3.
Oh, okay.
Call up to 3 plant tokens. So, and I might as well just play her right now before I forget. And I'll have Momo eat both these tokens and the signpost fairy.
Well, Momo can eat any amount, right?
Retire 1 or more of your rear guard.
Why not just call the 3rd token, eat it with Momo, and then call?
Do that. And we'll eat each, so it's 3 instead. So
It's like 30k total.
it's 5 per.
Yeah.
So that's 20, and then signpost fairy will give normal
Yeah.
10. So that is 50, 20, 30.
Okay.
That's much better play. Got it.
I always find that when making these videos, it's most important that the matches are good and the decks are played right, so I don't mind doing that to just help out the opponent a little bit. Unfortunately for me right now, though, I need to go 1 to pass versus the Vanguard attack. Luckily guarding it, but Momoke is absolutely swole, which means Radiolina is going to be swole, which means the second Radiolina is going to be swole. I'd say I luckily got a critical trigger as a defensive, but I still haven't strode yet. I don't really have any defense in my hand, and Radiolina is 40k, and now, after that Radiolina is attacked, Jazz is going to be using the skill of the other Radiolina in his hand to retire both, call it, and get the power of the Momoke token. It gets met with a perfect guard, and that's really my only option. I'm at 5 damage, and I don't have any triggers in my hand until, well, that over trigger I drew. But now the conditions have been met. Both of us are at grade 3, and I'm discarding Astrolabe to Stride. And with Astrolabe I'll get to draw because it was discarded for Stride. With the Waking Messiah skill, when I Stride I can call it to Rear from Soul, and Soul Charge 1 to replace it. And then using Alter Ego's on Stride skill to lock both of our rear guards. Still locked?
There's one thing at the end of this turn.
Oh yeah.
That has to go there, and I get 2 points.
Nice. That is a pretty crazy, just common card for Rorowa, being able to put itself to soul and get 2 plant tokens to use Rorowa's own skill to give 2 5k buffs. But Alter Ego's Stride skill has given my Vanguard 5k, and I'm also calling 2 rear guards that will also be getting 5k when they attack. These 2 rear guards are pretty much your only real attackers because both of them, after they attack, can have something on the field locked. Because Kaiser Klein is only attacking for 15k, Jazz is going to use Rorowa's skill, retiring a plant token, to give himself 5k for this attack. And after the attack, Kaiser Klein is going to check top 3 for something to call to rear his lock. I don't exactly get anything good, so I just call Makani. The more I lock, the more I have options for Alter Ego's skill, where whenever something is unlocked, I can Soul Blast 1 to draw a card. Of course, I can't do it right now because I'm on Amnesty, but right now when I'm attacking with Amnesty and using its skill, I can unlock any number of rear guards, but I'll only decide to unlock 2, because these 2 can relock themselves, meaning I'm of course missing out on an extra attack and the buff from Awakening Messiah, but altogether I just want more draw. This deck also just stacks buffs like a motherfucker, and like, altogether with the crest buff from the G-Zone, triggers, and Amnesty's buff, Arrestor is attacking for 58k, which will of course be perfect guarded, but at the end of the battle the 2 of them will be locking, and at end of turn my Stride returns, and I'm gonna unlock 5 cards. As Bushiroad did make a good choice and made it so that the crest unlocks the opponent's locked rear guards at the end of my turn, but because of that I get to Soul Blast 5 and draw 5. The opponent's unlocked rear guard getting bound is just a small bonus at that point. Definitely the biggest bonus right here right now is that Jazz had to discard his Persona Ride, meaning he only has 1 soul for all of his plays, and that's really not enough for Rorowa. He is going to be using To the Shining Stage, which will let him Soul Blast 1 to call a rear guard from draw. He's of course calling Radiolina, and because he did call Radiolina, he gets to call a token. This was the last card that Jazz saved in his hand, discarding his Persona Ride to keep this after perfect guarding. He's also using Radiolina's skill, calling a Momoke token, and then just calling the last card in his hand so that he has some body to attack with. Because of Resolute Pair of Eyes, his back row tokens have 5k, so that is making all of his attacks decent, but this is after I've strode, done a triple drive, and gotten 5 cards back at the end of the turn. There's not much that Jazz can do to come back from my comeback. Jazz is down to 2 cards in hand at 4 damage, and in my hand I have another copy of Alter Ego Messiah, which means I can stride into Excelix Messiah. Not only that, but you can see that I have 2 SP Excelix, which means I spent a lot of money getting the premium version. Right now I'm putting Makani into Soul just so that I have an extra draw at end of turn in case I need it and don't win this turn, and just calling up some boys and attacking. Battle both lock, Vanguard gets 5, an attack, counterblast. I don't unflip, but I'll unlock all of mine.
All yours. And mine?
Nah.
Yes.
front row gets 10k, Vanguard gets an extra crit. And with Awakening skill, one in front of it gets 10k.
Alright, so how big is your Vanguard?
28, 38, 48, 58 extra crit.
58 with extra crit.
Yes, sir. Thanks so much for watching. I had a blast making this video, and I really hope that you enjoyed watching. Here's Jazz's Rorowa deck list, and I know that, like, it's getting a big upgrade, like, literally a week or so from now, but if anything, I wouldn't mind just recording another match once Jazz has upgraded his deck, so look forward to that. I'm gonna be returning to school next week, so another university semester, and I'm kinda excited, and also kinda not, so I've been trying to get out as many videos as possible because I really don't think I'm going to be able to keep up this channel as much once I'm starting my semester again. Still though, I do absolutely appreciate all the support that my recent videos have been getting, and I'm really happy that we've just been growing so much in the past little bit. So seriously guys, thank you so much. Whether I am or am not making videos, I'm definitely going to be on Twitter where I am posting art whenever I make it, so definitely follow me there if you want. With that said, have a great day, enjoy yourself, and I'll see you guys next time.